So there's a famous scene in the dialogue of John and Abigail Adams. We know about it because they wrote about it. And it is a matter of history. And John and Abigail Adams were there at their farm, which was about a mile from the coastline, elevated, overlooking the town of Boston in 1775. And John Adams said to Abigail, Abigail, you won't understand. These are things regarding politics. And Abigail Adams said, John, politics? Don't preach to me about politics. I, a woman, deal with politics every day, she said. I deal with the political ramifications of the price of food, she said. I deal with the issue of trying to get pins for making clothing for the family. I deal with trying to get things for this household to run. So John Adams, don't lecture me about politics. I live politics, Abigail Adams said. And she was exactly right. And John Adams, and they're standing, by the way, in the snow, she said. They were standing in the snow overlooking Boston. And John Adams said, Madam, you're harsh. And she said, Sir, I'm cold. And she walked back into the house. Abigail was right. No wonder why she's considered one of our founding fathers. But listen, the truth of the matter is this. Politics affects everyone's life. The life of the church, the life of your business, the life of your income, the life of your expenses, your liberties or not, your freedoms or not, your child's education. Politics, you'll never avoid it unless you're a fool. If you say stay out of politics, or if you say, well, we only preach the gospel, well, you ought to repent. Because after preaching the gospel, you should preach discipleship. And discipleship is this: being involved in whatever nation you live in for the glory of Christ. I happen to live in a constitutional republic that allows me to have great freedoms. You might live in a parliamentary type of government in your country. You might live in a communist nation where it could cost you your life. Seek the will of God, stand for what is right, and listen, just like Jesus did, just like Paul did, just like Peter did, just like they all did. They changed the Roman Empire, and they changed the course of human history, and let freedom ring. How did that ever happen? Because if we have the Son of God in our lives, He sets us free indeed. And you, my friend, are free to whatever country you belong to influence it for Christ. You must. If it's voting, if it's speaking up, for some, even laying down your life. To the glory of God, we live out His truth until we see Him face to face.